Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're plunging into the story of a pharmaceutical company that hasn't just shaped medical history for well over a century, but is now really aggressively reshaping the future of health. We are talking about Eli Lilly and Company.
A huge name making massive waves right now.
Absolutely. So our deep dive today, we're going to uncover the frankly audacious bets, the big strategic shifts, and just the sheer financial power that's propelling Lilly.
Especially in that cardiometabolic space. It's huge.
Exactly. So we'll trace them from their, principled start in Indianapolis right up to being this global titan. We want to explore what makes Lilly unique, what's driving this incredible growth.
And maybe get a peek into the future of medicine through their pipeline.
That's the plan. Our mission is to give you, our listeners, a really comprehensive grasp of the opportunities, sure, but also the significant risks tied up in their strategy.
It's quite a story.
It really is. And to understand where they are now, we kind of have to go back, right? Look at that foundation.
Definitely. It didn't happen overnight.
No. So, Eli Lilly and Company, founded 1876. Colonel Eli Lilly, a Civil War vet, a chemist. And he was apparently really frustrated with the medicines back then.
Yeah. Unreliable, sometimes downright dodgy stuff.
Right. So his mission was clear. Scientifically sound, high-quality drugs.
Yeah.
A big difference from the, dubious medications of the time.
Quality control from the get-go.
But early on, they were thinking about the patient experience, too. Things like gelatin-coated pills, fruit flavorings.
Yeah.
Making medicine easier to take.
Small things, but they matter.
And here's something really striking. They set up a formal research program way back in 1886, one of the first in the industry.
Wow, that early. That shows real foresight.
It does, and that commitment really did reshape health. Think about some of the milestones. Alton, the first commercial insulin, 1923, just changed everything for diabetes.
Transformative.
Then Humulin in 82, the first human insulin from recombinant DNA tech. Huge deal.
Big science.
They were also crucial in mass-producing the salt polio vaccine in the 50s.
Right, a massive public health contribution.
And then late 80s, Prozac. I mean, that revolutionized depression treatment, changed how we even talk about mental illness.
Absolutely. Plus other big names like Cialis, Viprexa, they've had a string of major products.
So many.
And what's really insightful here, I think, is how all this connects back to their mission to make medicines that help people live longer, healthier, more active lives.
It's not just words on a wall, then.
It seems not. It feels like a genuine patient focus, underpinned by values like integrity, excellence, respect for people. That foundation, even with the usual big company bureaucracy, allowed these innovations. You see it in employee sentiment, too, a strong sense of purpose.
Okay, so that's the legacy. How does that connect to today's, powerhouse performance?
That brings us to the current leadership.
Right. CEO David Ricks took over in 2017. And he's seen as pretty transformative, really guiding Lilly into this period of just unprecedented growth.
He definitely shook things up.
Seems like it. His strategy has these aggressive pillars. First, accelerating innovation. He's apparently almost halved drug development timelines.
How do you manage that?
By engineering out waste is the phrase used.
Right.
Streamlining, cutting bureaucracy. And this follow-the-sun global R&D model. So work basically never stops.
Makes sense. Keeps the momentum going.
And their R&D mandate. Simple.
Yeah.
Go after big markets with big effect sizes.
Aim high.
Second pillar, cultural transformation. He wanted to move past what they called Lilly nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, apparently a consensus-driven culture that could kind of slow things down. He pushed for more debate, more agility.
Interesting, shaking up the internal dynamics.
Third, aggressive manufacturing expansion. They saw this massive demand coming, especially for the new drugs.
The GLP-1s.
Exactly. So they've committed over $18 billion since 2020, just building and upgrading plants in the U.S. and Europe. Huge investment.
Massive and necessary bet, probably.
And fourth, disruptive patient access. He pushed for that big 70% price cut on insulins.
Yeah.
And then launched Lilly Direct.
Ah, yes, the direct-to-consumer platform.
Yeah. Bypassing the usual middlemen, the PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers offering lower cash prices for drugs like Zepbound.
That's a direct challenge to the system.
It is.
So if you step back and look at the whole picture, what you're seeing is this fundamental shift. Lilly moving from being, historically quite conservative, maybe inwardly focused,
Right.
to being this really aggressive, externally focused market shaper. The internal culture change, challenging Lilly nice, and the external challenge to PBMs They feel like two sides of the same coin.
A unified strategy.
Exactly. It's about dismantling systems, whether they're internal habits or external market structures, to just accelerate growth and grab that market leadership. It does raise a question, though.
Which is?
How audacious is too audacious? When you're a giant like Lilly aiming to reshape entire markets.
That's a good question. Let's talk numbers for a second because they are just explosive.
Yeah.
Total revenue went from, what, high 20s of billions in 2022?
Yeah, around $28 billion.
To $45 billion in 2024. That's a 32% jump year over year. It's incredible.
And the projection for 2025 is even higher, $58 to $61 billion.
It's just staggering growth. And it's mostly driven by their new products, right? Especially Mounjaro and Zepbound.
Overwhelmingly. That's the engine right now.
And profitability looks strong, too. Gross margin over 82%, net margin near 26%.
Very healthy margins, which translates into impressive earnings per share, obviously. And, this aggressive growth, it's not just on the income statement. It's fundamentally changing their balance sheet,
Right.
especially how they use debt.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, total assets have basically doubled from around $49.5 billion in 2022 to projected over $100 billion by mid-2025.
Wow, doubled.
Mostly because of these huge investments in manufacturing, property, plant, equipment.
And they're funding that how?
Well, that's where the debt comes in. Total debt's also jumped significantly, from about $16 billion to nearly $40 billion in the same time frame.
Okay, nearly $40 billion in debt. That sounds like a lot. Doesn't that raise concerns?
It's a fair point. For many companies, it absolutely would be a red flag, but you have to look at Lilly's ability to handle it.
And they can.
Their credit metrics suggest they can exceptionally well. Their EBIT earnings before interest and taxes covers their interest payments almost 29 times over. That's a huge cushion.
Okay, so they can afford the payments easily.
Exactly. This isn't debt taken on out of desperation. Lilly is using its balance sheet, essentially, as an offensive weapon.
Offensive weapon? How so?
They're borrowing proactively, confidently, against the future billions they expect to rake in from Mounjaro and Zepbound.
Ah, borrowing against future success.
Precisely. It's funding this massive manufacturing and R&D blitz, the goal, to build what they hope is an insurmountable competitive moat in the GLP-1 space. It's a bold, long-term play.
Okay, let's drill down into that engine then. Mounjaro and Zepbound, these incretin-based therapies.
The heart of the current story.
Mounjaro for type 2 diabetes, Zepbound for chronic weight management. But they're the same drug, right? Tirzepatide?
Correct. A first-in-class dual agonist. It targets both GLP-1 and GIP receptors.
Okay, break that down. GLP-1, GIP, what do they do?
Think of them as switches in your body. When tirzepatide flips them, it tells your body to make more insulin when needed, slows down how quickly your stomach empties.
Makes you feel fuller.
Exactly. And increases satiety. This dual action seems to give it an edge over drugs that only target GLP-1. Better weight loss, better blood sugar control in trials.
And the sales figures reflect that edge.
Absolutely staggering. Mounjaro sales more than doubled to, $11.5 billion in 2024?
Yeah, $11.54 billion.
Yeah.
And Zepbound hit $4.9 billion in its first full year.
Just phenomenal numbers. Wall Street thinks the franchise could be one of the best-selling ever. Projections for 2025 are over $18 billion for Mounjaro, $10 billion for Zepbound.
And clinically, that edge is clear. About 20% average weight loss for tirzepatide.
Compared to around 15% for semaglutide, which is Novo Nordisk's Wegovy and Ozempic.
And that difference is driving market share gains.
It certainly seems to be a key factor.
Okay.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, these drugs operate in two absolutely enormous markets, and they're both growing fast.
Obesity and diabetes.
Exactly. The global anti-obesity market could hit, projections vary, but maybe $150 billion by the early 2030s. Driven by that shocking forecast.
That over half the world's population will be overweight or obese by 2035.
Yeah, it's staggering. And the diabetes market is already huge, projected near $234 billion by 2032. Lilly is just perfectly placed.
Right place, right time, right drug.
Pretty much, to capture huge chunks of both these massive interconnected markets.
There's a big but, isn't there? The supply issue.
Ah, yes, the bottleneck. Demand has just massively outstripped supply. Shortages have been a major headache for both Lilly and Novo Nordisk. Patients frustrated, doctors frustrated.
So that $18 billion manufacturing investment, it's not just expansion, it's survival.
Yeah.
Or dominance.
It's absolutely strategic. It's not just logistics. They're talking about building capacity for hundreds of millions of people. That's a quantum leap from the tens of millions they can supply now.
Hundreds of millions.
It suggests the fight for leadership here isn't just in the lab anymore. It's shifting to the factory floor. Whoever can scale up production most effectively, most reliably,
They win.
they likely emerge as the ultimate leader. Manufacturing is now clearly a core strategic weapon in this space.
Okay, so the GLP-1 story is dominant, obviously, but Lilly isn't just that, right? They're not a one-trick pony, as the saying goes.
No, absolutely not, and that's crucial. Their portfolios in oncology and immunology provide really important diversification, revenue streams, stability.
Allowing them
Well,
to make those big bets elsewhere.
precisely. Take Verzenio, their breast cancer drug, that's a cornerstone. Sales around $3.86 billion, showed significant survival benefit in trials. Projected peak sales over $8 billion. That's a major drug in its own right.
Okay, so oncology is strong. What else?
Well, other established products are key contributors too. Jardiance, for instance.
That's the one they co-market with Boehringer Ingelheim.
Right, an SGLT2 inhibitor. It started in diabetes but has expanded into heart failure, chronic kidney disease. It's a market leader there.
How do those work again? SGLT2s.
They basically help your kidneys flush out excess sugar through urine. Different mechanism.
Got it. And Taltz.
Taltz for autoimmune conditions like psoriasis. Another consistent performer bringing in significant sales around $2.7 billion.
So this wider portfolio.
This growth products portfolio, which also still includes Trulicity, remember, that was their previous big GLP-1, still a multi-billion-dollar drug.
Right.
It acts as this vital financial engine and stabilizing ballast. It generates high-margin cash flow. That cash is critical. It de-risks those huge capital-heavy bets in the newer GLP-1s and in Alzheimer's.
Ensures they're not totally reliant on one thing.
Exactly. Gives them a significant financial cushion. Stability.
Okay, so they're not resting on their laurels. Let's talk pipeline. The future. This is where we see the next big bets, right?
Absolutely. It's an extensive and pretty innovative pipeline.
We'll start with Alzheimer's. The big gamble there is Kisunla, right? Donanemab.
Yes. Approved July 2024. An antibody therapy for early symptomatic Alzheimer's. It works by targeting and clearing amyloid plaques in the brain.
And the results.
It slowed cognitive decline by up to 35% at 18 months in trials, which is significant. And it has this unique stop treatment approach.
Stop treatment.
Yeah, nearly half the people in the trial actually finished therapy within a year once their plaques were cleared to a certain level.
Interesting. How does it stack up against the competition, Leqembi?
Well, Kisunla is once monthly dosing, which might be more convenient than Leqembi's every 2 weeks. Potentially lower long-term costs if treatment can stop. But
There's always a but.
it showed a higher rate of ARIA, that's brain swelling or bleeding, amyloid-related imaging abnormalities, about 24% with Kisunla versus 12.5% for Leqembi. That's a key difference to watch.
Okay, a trade-off there. Now back to metabolic diseases. What's next after Mounjaro and Zepbound?
A really key part of their long-term plan is orforglipron, the oral GLP-1.
An oral pill instead of an injection.
Exactly. A once-daily pill. That's potentially a huge game changer. As a small molecule, it should be much cheaper to make it scale compared to the injectable antibodies.
Cheaper and easier to take.
Right. The convenience factor is massive. A daily pill, apparently without the food or water restrictions some other oral GLP-1s have, that could just dramatically expand the market. Think of all the patients who prefer pills.
What kind of efficacy are we seeing?
Pretty impressive for an oral. Around 12.4% average weight loss in the obesity trials. Significant A1C reduction in type 2 diabetes, too. They're planning submissions in 2025 for obesity, 2026 for diabetes.
So that could open up a whole new mass market segment.
That seems to be the strategy. Bring these powerful therapies to a much, much broader audience.
And then there's something even further out. Retatrutide.
Ah, yes, the triagonist. This is looking even further ahead. It's a novel molecule hitting 3 targets. GIP, GLP-1, and glucagon receptors.
3 targets, what does that do?
The early data is, well, unprecedented. An average weight reduction of 24.2% in 48 weeks.
24%, that's huge.
It starts to approach the kind of results you see with bariatric surgery. It's really remarkable early data. They've launched a big phase 3 program called Triumph-H, looking at obesity, cardiovascular disease, even osteoarthritis.
Wow. But with that kind of power, what about side effects?
Yeah.
Risks?
That is the crucial question, isn't it? With that level of efficacy comes potential challenges. Rapid weight loss itself can have effects, and significant GI side effects, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, were reported in the early trials.
So tolerability is key.
Absolutely. Safety and tolerability will be watched very closely in phase 3. Understanding that full risk-benefit profile for such a potent drug is paramount.
Okay.
So if you look at the whole metabolic pipeline, it's not just random shots on goal. It feels like a really meticulously planned, multi-generational strategy.
Layered approach.
Exactly. First, the injectable dual agonist, Mounjaro and Zepbound, setting the bar for efficacy. Second, the oral single agonist, or forglipron, for convenience and the mass market. And third, the injectable triagonist, retatrutide, aiming to set an even higher bar for efficacy in the future.
They're not just developing drugs.
They're building a dynasty, trying to dominate across every segment of this market for potentially decades to come.
Okay, let's talk competition. Specifically that head-to-head with Novo Nordisk. It feels like a real duopoly.
It is the defining rivalry in this space right now.
Novo obviously had the first mover advantage with Ozempic and Wegovy, but the feeling is Lilly's catching up, maybe even pulling ahead.
Market analysis certainly suggests Lilly is accelerating. Several factors seem to be driving that perception.
Like?
Well, first, that superior efficacy we talked about. Zepbound showing greater weight loss than Wegovy in trials. That's a tangible advantage.
Second,
The promising pipeline. Or for glipron's convenience factor, retatrutide's potentially groundbreaking efficacy. They look arguably stronger than what Novo has coming next, at least based on current data.
and third, market perception. See it in the stock market, right?
Yeah, Lilly's stock trading at roughly double Novo Nordisk's forward PE ratio. That suggests investors right now have much higher growth expectations for Lilly. They see Lilly as better positioned.
So the market thinks Lilly's winning, essentially.
That seems to be the current consensus, yes. But it's important to remember Lilly faces tough competition elsewhere, too.
Right, it's not just GLP-1s.
Exactly.
Sure.
Oncology is super competitive. You've got giants like Novartis, Merck, AstraZeneca.
Immunology, too.
Fierce competition there as well. AbbVie, Johnson & Johnson are major players. And in Alzheimer's, Kisunla goes directly against Leqembi from Eisai and Biogen. They have battles on multiple fronts.
Still, the sheer size of these markets is incredible. Cardiometabolic, over $300 billion. Oncology, over $600 billion.
Huge numbers. And Alzheimer's, while smaller now, projected to grow significantly, maybe $7 to $19 billion.
That's just enormous potential runway for growth, assuming they execute.
Assuming they execute, that's the key.
Which brings us back to that valuation. The market seems to have priced in perfection, almost declared Lilly the winner already. What are the risks listeners should keep in mind?
That's the vital point. When expectations are this high, the risks amplify. The company is priced for near flawless execution.
So any slip-up is magnified.
Exactly. Any significant delay in that manufacturing ramp-up, that could be a big problem. An unexpected safety issue popping up with Kisunla or forglipron or retatrutide, that would hurt.
Pressing pressure.
Definitely. More competition, pressure from payers, that could squeeze margins. Or even if Novo Nordisk comes back with something unexpectedly strong from their own pipeline. Any of those things could trigger a pretty substantial downward correction in the stock price.
High expectations mean high risk.
Very little room for error. It's a high-stakes game they're playing.
So, summing up, Eli Lilly has undeniably transformed itself. A clear leader, especially in this booming cardiometabolic market. The combination of a top-tier portfolio now,
Best in class with tirzepatide.
a really smartly designed multi-generational pipeline,
Layering innovation.
and this super aggressive manufacturing strategy. It really is a potent formula for growth.
Yeah, they've definitely captured lightning in a bottle with tirzepatide, and they look like they have a real shot at doing it again with the next wave. The leadership seems to have both the vision and, crucially, the operational discipline to pull it off. That's a rare combination.
But, and it's a big but, those sky-high market expectations mean everything hinges on execution. Flawless execution, really. Building those factories on time, navigating pricing, delivering on the pipeline promises. It's all absolutely critical.
No question. The pressure is immense.
So let's leave our listeners with a final thought. Beyond the billions of dollars and the breakthrough science, think about this. How might Lilly's really aggressive, future-focused strategy fundamentally change things? Not just the pharma industry, but maybe the way we as a society approach common chronic diseases like obesity and diabetes. Are we really on the edge of a completely new era in medicine, driven by this kind of bold corporate vision And what could that mean for all of us? Something to think about.